Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. We are ready to go. Our teacher for this week is Alan Cohen. Now let's get right into today's message from Alan Cohen. Somebody, good morning. Hello. Good morning, Nay. Right. It starts out with the idea of fear. Fear, it's a primal emotion that can be incredibly motivating, urging us to avoid danger and protect ourselves. But fear can also be a formidable foe, holding us back from reaching our full potential. Antoinette, a very good morning. It's good to see you live with us. Anami, good morning. Grania, good morning. Stefan, very good morning to all of you. Hello. Our greatest limitations often reside within ourselves. We build walls of fear. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of rejection. These walls may have served a purpose at some point, but they can also become prisons, restricting us from pursuing our dreams and experiencing the richness that life offers. What is it that places limits on us? It is always our own fears. Linda, good morning. Charlene, good morning. Hello. Awesome seeing you all here. Alan Cohen says, personal growth is not a matter of learning new information, but of unlearning our old limitations. What if you always approached personal growth this way, understanding that the real key to your personal growth is not the new stuff you need to learn, but the old limits you need to put down? Alan Cohen says, all limits exist only in the mind, and it is only in the mind that they can be overcome. And the last thought from Alan Cohen says, we can look at any experience in two ways, through the eyes of lack or the eyes of plenty. Fear sees limits, while love sees possibilities. Each attitude will be justified by the belief system you cherish. Change your allegiance from fear to love, and love will sustain you wherever you walk. Anthony, a very good morning. Hello, dude. Good to see you. Would it be possible to remind yourself in every situation that I can choose to see this situation through one of these two ways that Alan Cohen suggests? We can look at any experience in two ways, through the eyes of lack or the eyes of plenty. Fear sees limits, while love sees possibilities. Could I remind myself in every experience I have that I have the choice? Am I seeing through eyes of fear or eyes of love? If I am recognizing only the problems, the stumbling blocks, the things that I can't overcome, then it's likely I'm seeing these things through fear, through a lens of fear. Can I remind myself that this means I need to shift my perspective? I need to take off those glasses and put on a lens of love so that I can see the possibilities. You can be aligned to problems, or you can be aligned to possibilities. Fear focuses on problems, and by placing its attention there, continues to pour ever more energy into what is already wrong. Love does not ignore problems, but puts its focus on possibilities. Love continues to pour its energy into what it is able to create. Alan Cohen mentions, change your allegiance from fear to love. And I really want you to know this truth. When you learn to love yourself, it is astonishing how much of your fear will just evaporate. when we learn to cultivate self-love, to embrace our imperfections with compassion, fear loses its grip. Self-acceptance creates a fertile ground for growth, nurturing the confidence and courage to pursue our dreams. Today's meditation is an opportunity to look at yourself with a kind of acceptance that softens old limitations and becomes open to potential. The meditation we're doing today is called You Are Limitless. I usually try to go and pick a flower outside before we get started, but I didn't have the time today. But that's what we'll do. In our imagination, we'll each go pick a flower to use in today's meditation. So if you're ready, you can close your eyes and we'll take the first few big breaths together. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine. Lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. While you continue your own full body breathing, rising with every inhale and falling with every exhale. Join me as we stroll through your favorite garden. It could be the garden right out your front door. It could be the most beautiful botanical garden you've ever been in. Or it could be something completely fictional that lives just in your imagination. I want you to find in this garden the most beautiful flower. Pick it and for the moment, tuck it in behind your ear or into your hair and find a place to sit in this beautiful garden. And while you continue your full body breathing, take in the sights and sounds and scents of this garden. What are the smells that come to you in this garden? What are the sounds that reach you in this garden? How does the breeze in this garden feel on your skin? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch and adjust and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward. Roll out your neck muscles. Forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Big half circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left And also lean your upper body over to the right. Leaning into your back muscles. Finding where the edges are and gently leaning into those edges. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least as much as we are able to do that, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it the longest, slowest exhale you can. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into you and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, I want to remind you to take that flower we picked a few moments ago, hold it between your fingers, take a good look at the beauty of this flower. Take your next big breath. We are going to be studying every part of this flower. And I want to remind you that it is likely that your mind wanders. While I ask you to study a specific part of the flower, it might be just a second later that your mind is somewhere completely else. So I want to remind you that this is not because you're doing it wrong, but this is the point of meditation. The point is to catch your mind wandering and then return it to the point of focus. It's likely to happen not just once, but many, many times. The more you repeat this process of catching your mind wandering and returning it to the point of focus, the better your focus and concentration becomes in general. The more easily you'll be able to catch your mind ruminating on very unhelpful thinking, and then return it to wherever it is that you want to apply yourself. So let's go on this journey. This flower you hold between your fingers, you're holding it by the green stem. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, I want you to study this green stem and see as much detail as you can. Some stems are pretty dense and woody. Other stems are completely hollow on the inside. Some are smooth, some are hairy. What does the stem of this flower look like that you're holding between your fingers? Take your next big breath. Follow the stem upwards to the base of the flower and see how the stem evolves into something that looks almost like a little green bowl, or two cupped hands with green fingers holding the base of the flower together. Can you see the perfection there? What a beautiful design. Take your next big breath. Without this little green bowl, the petals of this flower would fall apart. Look at how beautifully it's held together. Take a look at the underside of the flower, the underside of the petals. Pay close attention to the texture of the underside of the petals. Take your next big breath. Let your attention glide to the edges of the flower, the edges of these petals. From where they emerge in the center of the flower, all the way around to the furthest edge and back to the center. Very often, these petals are arranged in a perfectly geometric shape. Can you see the perfection there? Take your next big breath. Take a good look at the front-facing part of the petals. Its texture is different than on the back. And study the colors specifically. Does this flower you picked have a uniform color on every petal? Or are there shades? Are there lighter and darker shades in the petals of your flower? Take your next big breath. And then finally shift your attention to the center of this flower. And it could look one of many different ways. It could be a very soft, spongy center, possibly yellow or green. It could be more trumpet-shaped, descending into the depths of the flower. Notice the perfection of this design again. Designed to attract insects that move from one flower to the next, cross-pollinating, in a perfect symphony. Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips in and settles in every cell of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. When we look at the natural world, it's very easy to exclaim perfection. It's easy to see how everything is perfectly designed for cooperation, but then somehow we forget that we are part of that natural world. As if we were not created by the same divine intelligence. We can look at the natural world and see perfection, but so easily when we look at ourselves, we see only flaws. And the truth is, if you took a magnifying glass to that flower, and if you looked at it really critically, you would find multiple imperfections. So many spots where cell division did not happen as perfectly as we thought it did. But even when we find these imperfections in the beautiful flower, we're still saying, but it's perfect even in its imperfection. It is meant to be exactly this way. We advocate for its imperfections. Can you advocate for yours? Our fears about ourselves. These are the real limitations we experience. The fears about ourselves that prevent us from taking the small steps that we really want to take. And in moments where we have a slightly more enlightened view, we feel inspired and we actually do to get a glimpse of potential, then often we believe we have to take bigger steps. And more often than not, the idea of bigger steps scare us into not moving at all. I want to assure you that you don't have to take any big steps. The steps you take don't have to look like anyone else's steps. Just like the beauty of one flower is not to be compared to the beauty of another. They are just different, beautiful in their own right. Some will grow taller and some won't. Some smell sweeter and others don't. Comparison is just completely uncalled for. you are already more limitless than this flower. For this perfect flower, this one expression is all it has. And I don't really want to try and compare, but the truth is, up until now, you have found ways to express yourself that are countless compared to this flower. There are ways in which you can express yourself that you haven't even discovered yet. But the steps don't have to be big. You can blossom right where you are and slowly figure out what's this next small step that you need to take. Without comparing your steps to anyone else's. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to really face myself and my fears. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for having learned to see exactly how my fears have always been the thing that limits the steps I allow myself to take. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for having become surrendered to baby steps. Really small steps that perhaps even feel like it's no forward motion at all. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning to love myself. Not even when I take small steps, especially when I take small steps. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being on our journey today. Michelle, a very good morning. Awesome seeing you. Hello. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Grania. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Sunmuddy. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Anami. And whoever else I might not be able to see right now. Have a beautiful day. You are limitless. But don't let that scare you either. You only have to focus on the next tiny little step that you may have to take. Thank you, Antoinette. Have a beautiful day, everyone. See you again soon. Ciao, ciao.